Okay. Hopefully, shoot you guys around a little bit. I think we're good. I think we're good. Ugh. Got a couple of random things gonna be working on this morning. Well, not this morning. It's this evening. Because I want to get a few things set up for painting. So I got to do a little bit of epoxy for this thing. We did some the other day on the feet here. So I just got to kind of wrap up doing the skirt section. Just want to elongate it a little bit more. Make it kind of look more like a dress. Also kind of got to sand this part down just a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. And then after that, move on to paint. Hey, Poland, got that one. This guy's going out tomorrow. And I have to touch up one thing before I send them out is I got to add some glue to the joint here so that there's a little more friction in the leg here. But did a Showa color scheme gear on. Hot Toys new. I haven't paid much attention to the Hot Toys. Any high C figures. I'm not sure what those are. Or at least what their abbreviations for. If I'm going to be honest. Real quick for Mr. Gear on here. Hey, Jojo. Just going to angle you guys down just a little bit. All I'm doing is I got to thicken this part so when it goes in, it causes a little bit more friction than it currently is now. Probably should do both sides. So I just take a little bit of super glue. These things are great for applying super glue. These little cheap, like plastic kids craft brushes, because the bristles are also made out of plastic. Hey, Godzilla! Glad you like the vids. But if you use regular brushes, it'll actually cause a reaction and burn the brushes, and they become really useless real quick. Well, this, as long as it doesn't dry, you can keep applying super glue with it. Oh, Hammock collection. Gotcha. We got a few. Like, we got the Comic-Con T-Rex and a couple others. Not a whole ton. My wife mainly my wife's the one that collects the Jurassic Park stuff, not me. And she mainly buys just the normal line, more so than the Hammond, because everything that's Hammond, we've been able to get just as normal figures. And it's not like she plays, like, does toy photography or messes around with them. So them being more posable doesn't really affect her at all. And to be honest, she likes more of the older figures anyways. She's a very classic style gal. Like, shoot, she collects like the old vintage stuff. Like the preschool Jurassic Park like those preschool dinosaur figures and stuff. We got a bunch of those. Yeah, I don't think we have any of the humans outside of like the Comic-Con came with the oh, what's his face? The lawyer. I know we got the Carno. We got the Carno recently. Oh, yeah, you see Monster Millennium hanging out? I just wrapped him up articulating. So I'm hopefully going to be primering him. But the stuff that you see me spray, this is glue accelerant. And what that does is just, when you apply the super glue, you spritz it and it just fairly instantly cures. Now, hopefully, when I stick this here, it's going to give me a little more friction. So now this, a little loose there still, but I'll be able to flip-flop it because that feels too tight. Oh, that feels pretty good. All right, I think I like that. But this one, if you guys didn't know who Dope Pope is, he does like Godzilla giant monster 3D modeling and what have you. He was at G Fest this year. If you were there, he made the models for the Titanic creation figures. So like Gorgo, um, however you say the Korean kaiju's name, he modeled those. And he also did Taimot in the new Godzilla movie. He contacted me about doing a gear on for him, like I did with the previous one. So this one's for him. It's done in these Showa colors. And the one fun thing I added was, the one thing I remember from Showa Giron is having the little throwing stars. So I made those. And it's super fun to do. And I gotta box them up shortly after the stream. That's not even a model. That's just the old Bandai vinyl. Well, not even old. It came out this year. But yeah, no, this is just the movie Monster Series figure that, and I chopped it up and did a lot of epoxy sculpting. He actually weighs a ton now. Well, at least more so. Like, he feels like a NECA. If you ever like picked up like an old NECA or a Haya Toys kaiju figure, like he definitely has that kind of weight to him now. And then there's this bad boy, who weighs a butt ton now. This is the other one I've been working on. He's pretty much good to go. Although, I have him set up a little bit weirder than I do with some of these foldable figures, because I kind of have them ideaed already for shipping. So, this actually slides off to make it a little easier to ship. Although, I'll be honest, I might have to permanently attach it because he's got a little bit too much wiggle room right there. So we'll have to see how it goes. Movement's pretty solid. Like the tail, you can play with a little bit here and there. It's got a little side-to-side action. It's nothing crazy because it's kind of got that like old McFarlane toy problem where the figure was already posed to begin with. So it's really good at articulating to the pose. Going in the opposite direction is not nearly as easy. Legs got really good motion though. They spin at the knee, the feet kind of go wherever. The arms are probably the more impressive thing because they can straighten up, bend in. Ooh, easier to show you guys without that on. With the shoulder, can shimmy in and out. So you get a lot of play with it. Same with the hands. Mouth open, closes. Side to side motion. A little bit of play there. Yeah, this is an X Plus. It's a X Plus figure that came out last year. So he was a statue. So you can kind of see like all this is parts I resculpted to work kind of like a toy. Like, to be honest, this is part of a coat hanger. Like I said, I gotta get the stomach to sit a little bit more permanently attached so that it holds the poses better, but get quite a bit of play with them. But he's been a fun one to work on. He was a commission. And then what I plan on working on a little bit on this stream is this guy was a 3D model that got sent in to me to make into an act. Like, it was already set up to be an action figure. I just 3D printed it, but the problem is when I 3D printed it, none of the joints worked, period. So I had to redo all the joints. I made the hinge joints work on this thing, but I had to pin all the joints in. Because how it came in, as I say, I still had some of them hanging around. But he had it set up so that where the, I'm trying to show you guys, where the hinge is here, there was like a little peg on each side, so it'd slot in, hook into the peg. That'd give you your rotation. There'd be a ball joint on it. Problem is because we did it in resin, and I'm not sure if the guy making the figure quite realized this, you don't get much give. So them being thick and kind of wide, it doesn't really work for this kind of process. So I had to snip off the pegs, pin them in so that they won't slide, so the joint won't slide out. Then I had to adjust the thickness because also when resin cures, sometimes it'll be a little, there's some expansion. So none of the joints wanted to fit, and even after heating it up, also didn't want to fit. So, oops, sorry. It works, but but anyways, so I had to do a bunch of sanding to get the joints to fit. Then, if they were a little loose, I had to add some glue to the joint for them to try to get the right thickness out of it. I had to redo all the ball joint sockets, so they're all the sockets you can get off Amazon and whatnot. You can see right there. So I had to do a bunch of drilling. I had to remake the ball joints so that they work with this. I had to redo the entire tail ball joints. See one there. So he's been a really fun, long-going process. The modeling, the model for the jaw was fudged up. The name sounds familiar. The Siret Tech, is that how you say it? I appreciate that, Just a Cat. But I had to redo the jaw here. So there's a little ball joint in there to get it to open and close, and then same with the head. Redid the head, so it actually has a little bit more range of motion than it would have had. The only thing that was a pain in the butt were these wings, because the wings were sent in with this. But the initial idea was for them to be held in with magnets. Didn't really work, and then the friction also didn't really work. So what I ended up doing was I just took a nail, I drilled a hole, took a nail that was just about thick enough, forced it through, glued the end. So this part's glued in, this part's not. So then you get the rotation, but the wing ain't gonna fall off. Oh, so they make extra parts and stuff. Gotcha. Saying all those big words. It's been a few years I've been working on this stuff. My forte is doing things like this, is taking like Bandai vinyls and making them into figures. This stuff is more of a learning curve. It kind of works the same, but it's way more of a pain in the butt. Because with this, it was like, it's already set up to be a figure. So the problem is now what I'm working on, I really have to get it back into being like how it was. Well, with this guy, I can kind of do it however I want. Like, so I can kind of just adjust on the fly and make it work. This, I'm kind of stuck with a certain thing I got to do, and I got to try to keep it with that same, in the same vein for it to work. And then the final one, I don't know if I showed, but there's a little Star Wars guy I'm going to try to work on a little bit too. 55 puppet. Like I said, last stream, I haven't really got to work on it much after that. It's almost at the point where I can kind of just scan it now. Is what I'm hoping. I just haven't really had. I gotta. Well, sorry. I almost have it where I can scan it. I gotta still smooth the eyes out. And I think that's about it. And then I can scan it, make it into a file, and then figure out what I'm gonna do with it from there. Dragon Ball, not too much. I haven't put it for sale. I made one beam just for giggles. Just like a generic, like, kind of Kamehameha. Just to go with any of the figures. Or even just if you need that kind of beam. But that's the only thing I've ever really done. At least I think. I've done some repaints. Like, I've turned Goku's hairs into different colors for people. And what have you. That's the other thing, like I tend to repaint stuff for people. Like I got a Tatu head I got to touch up. I got a Godzilla head upstairs I got to work on. Like this guy was 100% repaint because he used to be blue was his original color. Now he's more Showa accurate. Also, kind of went a bit off of because he made a Giron himself. I tried to match that coloring too for that. All my shorts are actually pajama bottoms because I'm lazy and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay in my pajamas. It'll be fine. Pajamas. Macho Man Randy Savage represent. I think I still have some red on me from some paint earlier. I am a hot mess right now, but it's okay. It's okay. The other thing I still have to fix it. Because if you ever go to my office, you'll see some stuff hanging out in the rafters. And this was hanging out in the rafters is a little queen alien that I did a while back. Problem is, she took a dive off the top and her hand broke off. So I have to redo that. I figure while I do that, I might clean a couple of parts up a little bit too, but I gotta redo this one a little bit. Like this one was the one I painted all myself. These ones are fun because it's more or less you just put a bunch of red on it, wipe it back off, and then it tints the vinyl because those are actually like old vinyl statues. So those are fun. Anything else randomly going on? I wrapped up painting some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I gotta finish doing a Tatu for that. And then also we did this on the channel a while back, but I got it sent in, 3D scanned it, and then when I scanned it, it messed up the paint job, so I have to redo his paint job. Hoping to get started on that here in the near future too. Anyways, so you're talking. So for the dragon, I kind of just want to do a little bit of sanding in some spots because I sanded down some sections to remove the nubs. But it was very rough. So now I got to go over it with a little bit of a lighter grit. Just going to use some random 400 I got hanging around. Figure I could stream while we're doing this because I don't really have to 100% pay attention to what I'm sanding while talking to you guys. Did you guys see the Haya news? The Haya announcements? Pretty excited for those. It's kind of funny because they never, like, nobody's made a suit accurate 99 Godzilla that's posable anyways. And we're getting a Haya one, so that's cool. Pretty pumped for that one. I think it was probably the most exciting one. I've seen out of the news things for that. Probably should be wearing a mask for this. In general speaking, it's probably a better idea. God, I gouged the crap out of that. Where is it? Not sure if anybody's talking anymore. The the thingy died. Oh yeah, let's see. Definitely missed some comments. Oh, the Haya 2004. I would say Haya 2014 if you're going to get one. It's just a more movie accurate looking one, and it's honestly cheaper to get a hold of. I'm taking my wrist tomorrow, right? I do. As I say, I do have an electric one, but couple of these cuts are a little deeper than what I'm willing to stand by hand. And to be fair, at my age too, it's just like it's not like I'm old, but you start feeling things a little bit more nowadays. I also don't know, it's just because I had that hypertension event a while back, but it just seems like, I don't know, it's just stuff got a little bit harder to do than it used to. Oh yeah, that X Plus Begon, that thing looks sick. I know I'm skipping it, because for me to buy an X Plus, I have to like really be invested in the character to be willing to spend the money on it anymore. Like anything that's like generally over $100, I kind of have to be like really into the collectible to vouch for it anymore. Thanks, Boxman. This one's just a dragon. I forget its name. It's from Fairy Tail. If you've ever seen that anime, I haven't. But when the guy originally messaged me, when the person originally messaged me, we were gonna use a Blue Eyes White dragon. Kind of do what my forte. Taking another figure and kitbashing into things. So we're going to take a Blue Eyes White dragon and make it look like the dragon from Fairy Tail. But after some time, and the guy saving up some funds, he ended up just getting a hold of somebody to make the file. And then that's where we're at now. I don't know, 100% worry about getting these sandmarks super clean, because I'm probably going to be spraying this with some filler primer anyways. That's probably what I'm going to start with. I'll be honest, I'm not too great at making actual heads. Like, I'm sure I could probably pull it off for you, but just the amount of time and money, you're probably better off just picking up the monster arts if you want alternate heads, or just waiting around for Haya. Like, I'll be fair, I like money, but for me to like sculpt them from scratch, it would definitely cost quite a bit. All right, another herb. Oh yeah, and the Monster Arts Evolve looks fan-freaking-tastic anyways. Honestly, I'm probably skipping it. I was thinking about grabbing it just for review purposes, but I'm probably just going to hold off. Oh yeah, that's like the one nice thing about kitbashing too, is you get like the knockoff versions. Like, say you got like a broken MP10 or whatever, and you want to just like got something wrong with the elbow or whatever, so you just get a bootleg to fix the problem, fix stuff. I've done that before. Hell, I've gotten Transformers. I've gotten like two broken Transformers, meld them together into having one not broken. Like that's my vintage Shockwave was what the one had a broken leg, and the other one the electronics didn't work. So I got them for like I think like $30 for the pair, and then the one with the broken electronics, I just took out the electronics out of the good one, put it together, and babe, now I got a couple $100 transformer. Probably not figures. I don't like I said, I don't really plan on making like action figures for 3D printing. If I do anything, it'll probably be like statues and bust. It's kind of what I plan on using the scanner for. Maybe eventually, but for the most part, a lot of stuff like it's even like Pacific Rim. Like if I was going to be making action figures or something, it would probably be something that like nobody makes. Like have a good I kind of need like a reason to make it into a thing. Because well, I don't mind 3D printed stuff. Like I always want like the authentic, like an authentic feeling figure, which 3D printing figures just never really give that to me. So I wouldn't want to make something that I could just get like a normal version of. I like Titanicus, or even just like picking. If I was gonna pick a giant monster or something, it would be something like that nobody makes, or might not have the chance to get made. Like if I was gonna do Pacific Rim, like Oni Baba, I think would be a good candidate. But then again, I don't even know if I can pull off a proper Oni Baba, at least a statue or an action figure. I can maybe get like a statue working, but an actual action figure might be on the tougher side. Yeah, Gazora, like that'd be a solid one. And even like Oni Baba, I know somebody made one, but I don't even know how to go about to get hold of it. I had a little flat piece. Where'd that go? Try and clean this up because I want to hopefully primer this tomorrow. He's been here for a hot minute. It's time for it to go. He's been working so long on trying to get this thing posable. On the -1 Godzilla, probably not. Because I honestly, like, I have a hard time believing we're not going to get a -1 figure or action figure of that guy. So, again, like I said, it had to be something that I don't think would be would get a solid thing. Yeah, like Hell Godzilla, that'd be a cool one to do as a 3D model. Like, we made the legit one. But Okay, we're gonna solve the landing problem right now. I didn't fully hide you landing, but you're definitely you're muted for the day. Oh, thanks again, Milo. Appreciate it. Really like your music. But a lot of it too is just like having time. Oh yeah, I know some people use like Lego joints and stuff for some of these, for even just this, like the 3D modeling stuff. Oh, the Pacific Rim comic, is it a comic? I thought it was like a it might have said graphic novel on it, didn't it? More than likely, I will try to get a hold of that. I do believe you're right, Protoraptor. I'm not 100%. I know it's a dragon from Fairy Tale, and I have the pictures of it on my phone, so I know how to paint it. That name does sound right, though, to me. I do Marvel Godzilla. Somebody sends me something to do. This is the thing about these two is a lot of these customs that I do on the channel are all commissions. So this is all like stuff that people are paying me to do. This guy is not an exception. But doing pretty solid, Arthur. There's... Oh, the Star Wars guy? I'll be honest, I don't know its name. It's this one right here. This is kind of in the same vein as this. It was sent in to me to be an action figure. Well, action figure. It was very basic. It was almost kind of like an old Kenner. Like it only could really, like the arms would have been able to go straight. The head could spin. That'd be about it. But the problem is no, the joints worked. So I ended up just like this guy. I just replaced the joints and did them all as ball joints. So I swapped them out. So now at least better range of motion in the arms, the legs. Got a little more play. The head. Again, it's got a little bit more play to it. I got to do a little bit of epoxy putting, like right around here. And then should be good to go. Well, if you're new to the channel, primarily what I mainly do here, a lot of the live streams are me generally working on customs. And then we'll do videos like showcasing the completed customs. I have a King Kong one where I got to put up on the channel here soon. Then we usually do a lot of action figure reviews. Sometimes we do little skit videos periodically. We also break figures, because why not? Oh, the buildings? I made all those. Looked you guys up real quick. Yeah, I have like an entire little like diorama set that I built and put together. So they're all made out of cardstock. There's videos on the channel if you want to see how I put them together, but they're pretty much just cardstock foam. I printed the building textures onto the printer, wrapped them, glued them, put foam on top, bam, you got a building. And then if you want to weather or damage them, there's ways of going about that too. We did a Predator figure a little while back. It was a Gremlin. Made a Gremlin into a Predator. That was a fun one. Okay, I think he's almost done. I keep getting sidetracked talking to you guys, because I won't. There's a couple of little pins sticking out. I gotta Dremel them down. You'll kind of see right there where I pinned them. It just sticks out a little bit too far. I just want to sand it down. Just smooth them out. Oh yeah, the Cloverfield monster. Well, it was a pricey figure to begin with because it also was a very limited release. Ooh. So that's why it's also so much money, because there's just not that many of them out there. Also, when doing this, you probably should wear glasses. I ain't about that life. $55 would be a dope monster arts, though. I don't know about the Game Workshop prices. I'll be honest, that one's not really my forte. I'd believe it, though. But then again, a lot of these, like, making models and whatnot, like, it's time consuming. Like, I get why people charge what they do. The only reason I can kind of keep my costs down a little bit is for a lot of these, I don't really give people time frames because it's just like they get done when they get done. And a lot of this stuff usually isn't like that time consuming. Like this guy, honestly, probably should have charged a little bit more to put together than what I did. But he also hasn't been harassing me on getting this thing done fast, so I don't worry about it. I do know Warhammer. Never played it, but I know of it. It was one of those things, like, I've never really been that interested in playing the game, but I always thought the models were really cool. Like, growing up, I used to want to get them just to paint and mess around with them. I always thought it would have been really fun. I think that's all the pins. Yeah, so you'll see I'm just kind of smoothing out the pins here. The Emperor is pleased. It's like I definitely see people play it. The closest I ever gotten to playing Warhammer is like Mage Knight, if you know what that is. It's like we used to call it was pretty much like poor man's Warhammer. Because you buy them at like booster packs, kind of like Magic cards, but they were little figures. And you'd build your armies from that. You get like so much point value. I am bald at this point. I gotta cut my hair. But you don't need to tell me the obvious, Mr. Chicken Lips. Maybe I just really enjoy having the cane look. You ever thought of that? Well, he was a little bit more harsh. Like his was literally like straight around and cut. I still got like a little bit of a curve going up here. Oh, Minion the Kamacuras would be cool. $100 be pretty reasonable too, because you get what, like three? There's 3 Kamacurases and a Minya, especially if they're opposable. Be pretty dope. All right, last in the. Ah, I left Epoxy upstairs. Feelings are hurt. Feelings are hurt. Yeah, I don't think I did randomly down here without moving. I got the Zilla here, but I'm waiting for the guy's supposed to be sending something to pay for it, and then I'm shipping out, so I don't have to do anything with that. Dragon's done. Wanted to work on you, but I can't. Well, we got Tatu. We can mess with Tatu for a minute. Because we got this here. I still got to paint stuff. We got this custom 3D printed head that was sent in. Which I'm going to be honest, I think the paint job could have been better, but I really like the sculpt. Like, it's not bad, but I think it could have done a little bit more with the eyes. Especially at the cost. Because I got Shredder. I still gotta look and see exactly what I'm doing with the jackets. I'm probably gonna grab the other Tatu because I just got the legit one in and figure that out. But we needed his legs, and then the Shredder's feet are going on to here. Which I am now trying to figure out how that's even supposed to happen. Well, we got a heat gun though. I'll heat the foot off and get it off one or the other. Worst case, if I got a Dremel, I got a Dremel. Hey Art! Hey look! We're gonna mess with this a little bit before I get off. I'll try to get the feet on at least. See how that goes. So tee it up so you can see like this is all squishy soft now. This is pretty flexible, so hopefully now this should come off. Ooh. How the hell is that hooked in? This is in there. Oh. Alright, well, popped it off. Damn, that's in there. Okay, I might have heated it up too much because it was a little squishy. Maybe a little too squishy. I think if I did a Zilla, I'd probably be around like the 90-100. It all depends. I could maybe see him being a little bit higher for Monster Arts just because mainly of the length. It'd be a long figure. Alright, let's get this other leg off. Ugh. Well, get the foot off at least. Oh, back in the box with you. But I needed the foot for the leverage. Ugh. Now I got itch in my back. Yeah, we got these bad boys. Oh, there we go. That's off. Alright. Tatu's got some feet. No feet. starters, gotta get the clasp off. Andrew. You know what I'm now starting to realize, Art? Is it's only just his feet. This is all one solid piece. So for me to get the feet from here to here, I'm gonna have to cut them and glue them. Huh. Fun times. Fun times. Next question. Would you be that opposed if I just... Oh, you'd see the feet, though. Yeah, never mind. I was going to say, because I could snip this off. But then you'd see the little bit of red here. It's more money for Steve. I don't want to work any harder. I already got paid for this job. This is an extra shredder figure, right? Like, we don't need it. I could. Okay, I didn't really... My worry was because I used the pliers, I might have damaged it, but it doesn't look bad. I could put this back in, but then he's going to have, like, little shoes. I can do whatever? Okay. Testing something. Because methinks. Do I have some nicer pliers hanging around here? It's kind of funny. I cleaned up this table. I still can't find a damn thing. It's a little cleaner than it usually is. Yep, the cape's can be used for the lining. I know that. Why am I ball playing with toys? Why shouldn't I be ball playing with toys? I'm more wrecking the toys than anything. So nobody just wonders, like, if maybe the ball's a choice. Like, it's just a conscious choice for me to be like this. Like I said, I watched a bunch of wrestling. Grew up always liking Hulk Hogan. I liked Kane. Kane, when he took out the mask, is perfectly sweet. Maybe I just want to replicate that. I blame my wife, mainly, because I had pretty solid hair until I got married. And then it all just kind of went away. To be honest, I don't think I'm that bad. Granted, like I said, I gotta trim this. Usually I just keep it pretty short. I wish I could stop balding. But it definitely runs in the family, so. Yeah, plus I get to have all the fun times. Oh, this does come off pretty clean. Sweet. Ho ho. Because my thought is, could we just put the pants on this? Because can I swap the torso? I could swap the torso. I was just like, so many people worry about the top of my head. And then they see toys in the picture and they're questioning, why is there toys in the picture? I was outside. We were at the beach earlier today. Wife's currently watching the child while I work on this stuff. Hey, because on a high note, it all came off pretty easy. Because then... yeah, we're here, we're committed. And because toys are cool. Also, I think there's a lot of people from my age, like age group, tend to gravitate towards collecting action figures. I like to think of myself more as Sid from a Toy Story anyways. If I had hair transplants, I got like the most cheap cheap hair transplants you have ever seen. I got like the great value of hair transplants. Child from the kids movie. I thought more older than that. He wasn't really a child, was he? I always thought him as a teenager. Okay, that is a... oh, fudge that got really hot. I'm pale because I'm a ginger. This is just the way gingers are. Like I said, I was out in the sun all day. Like, it's like I got like a little bit of brown right here. Because I tend to take Casey for a little bike ride. So like we've been riding down to the beach lately, and she goes and plays in the water a little bit. Yeah, that ball joint is on there. That's right, you are, Bulb. No, I haven't seen Deadpool yet. Hopefully go Wednesday. I think Wednesday we're going to. I didn't think I was trying to hide the top of my head, but it is what it is, I guess. Oh, jeez. Yeah! I popped out the wrong side. Well, you guys want to see what I'm doing, right? It does kind of seem very body. You are correct. Yeah, let's try this. I wonder if this one will come apart a little easier. Oh, is that a different size joint? Why is it a different size joint? But I don't want it to be a different size joint. There we go. Oh, I might have lucked out. That's a bigger joint on the bottom. So on a high note, I'll take it. Yes, that is the best thing I think about all this is yes, I do get paid to actually do this. It's crazy, I know. I wouldn't worry about Tochi. Oh. I have to heat that up a little bit more. What do you mean? This is my real job. I build action figures for people. Build, paint. So my thought is... should hopefully stay pretty well hidden. At least hopefully anyways. Yeah, it tends to be, especially when customizing. Like I said, you would think the joint would be the same between the human bodies, because honestly, I would think they would just reuse as many of the same parts as humanly possible to save money. So it's kind of odd that the Shredder has a bigger torso joint than the actual bottom. Oh, I've been swapping heads. Especially some of the Marvel ones. They could be a little bit weird. Yeah, it actually hides pretty well. Works pretty well. Yeah, so not too bad. We just gotta add the thing over top. Did you go to college? I actually did. I do have an art degree. I don't feel like you're new here if you're asking about the bald thing. I feel like you've been here for a hot minute. I also feel like nobody pays attention. Except for some of you I appreciate it. Especially Amazing Spooderman. Next question. Does this head even fit? Oh. Just realized, why is there so many holes at the bottom? It's alright. My thought is maybe he was drilling the holes and just kind of not getting the centering right. Would be my assumption, anyways. Mickey Mouse. Ho ho! Say $10. God, you think you could get this stuff for $10? I say shoot. This guy is 150 right here. Just kind of as a reference. I would have bought in the Monster Arts one, but high is more of a thing. Might as well just go with that. Yeah, you can't even get the base figure for $10. Like both these figures, well, you gotta buy $50 2-packs in order to even start with this. But anyways, I digress. I think the only thing that might bug me a little bit, well, once we get it all on, I don't think it'll be too bad. But the skin coloring's it's a little different between the two. So we're on the Hayatori one. As I say, it should be sitting stateside here pretty soon. If I had to venture a guess, anyways. But anyways, I think we're gonna wrap up the stream here. Probably gotta put Casey down for bed. BBTS. But she collects action figures too. Well, I didn't pay for these. These are all, like I said, everything on the channel is commissions. So all this stuff is sent up to me to work on. But anyways, definitely help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button. Yeah, it's definitely been a weird chat, if I do say so. Definitely been a very harassing chat, but it's kind of just the state of the internet anyways, for the most part. Usually don't see it too much, but maybe it's just because our channel is actually getting some traction. So now we get stuff like this. My voice is trembling. Usually everybody says my voice kind of sound drunk most of the time. Anyways, you can help us defeat those guys by hitting the like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, Pinterest, Facebook. Guys, like keep up to date with the channel. Donate greatly would appreciate it. If you guys like to pick up some high Godzillas for yourself, like the Muto that just came out. I know the Muto sold out on Cow Kiss, but you know the new, both the 91s, the Godzilla, the Ghidorah are up for pre-order right now. You can save 6% off your order, or code Steve Cowkiss at checkouts. So you can follow that link in the description, or if you'd like to pick up some stateside collectibles, you can get off Entertainment Earth, also in the link in the description. Help support the channel that way. They do free shipping over $80. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.